What's up, UA fam? Ashley here. And if you love this podcast and you actually find yourself re-listening to episodes and wanting more of Taryn and I, guess what? You should subscribe to our Supercast, where we give you bonus content every single week. But not just basic episodes, we do interactive episodes, like personalized AMAs, where you can specifically ask Taryn how her dating life is going, and you can specifically ask me how it's been living with my boyfriend this past few months. We do solo episodes and even scary episodes because we know how much you guys love those scary stories. And our Supercast community has been growing exponentially, so don't miss out. Subscribe to Supercast now and join the fun.
Hey, Ash.
Hey, Taryn.
I decided to ruin your life.
Why?
Right at the top of this episode. Why? Just because I felt like I feel like I'm in my villain era. Ugh. I don't mean to ruin your life, but I just know how you're going to react to this fact.
Is this dirty?
Dirty?
Yeah, like toilet talk?
No.
Well, then...
But it's about dogs. I know.
Is it sad?
Well, I don't think it's meant to be sad. It's meant to be educational.
Why would we start an episode like this?
Because I just I've been waiting to talk to you about this because it's something that really affects me.
I can already feel myself tearing up.
Okay. Did you know that dogs can't differentiate between things that are on purpose or on accident? They can't tell, oh, that was an accident. So think about every time you've accidentally stepped on their foot or kicked them or, like me, dropped your cell phone on them. And they think they don't understand.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you kiss them and you're like, oh, sorry, baby. They're just like,
oh, my heart. I can't.
They don't understand, Ashley.
And this is why they should be protected at all costs.
At all costs. But
they're so pure.
I don't know if I'm meant to have a dog because I'm so klutzy. I hurt Charlie all the time. All the time. On accident.
Yeah.
But I know.
I just think of I know our dachshund Rosie's a rescue, and I just think of every time she flinches.
I know.
I don't know what's happened in her past.
But also in her present. I don't know. It's just a fact. So all of you,
go love on a dog. Go find a dog to love.
But also it doesn't matter because if you accidentally do anything to them, you are abusing.
No, it does matter.
Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. As summer is getting close, a lot of us are winding down from our workplace stress. And I don't know about you, but I definitely do not want to take the stress that has accumulated over this year into the summer with me. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. To battle stress, most of us can't wave goodbye to work, even though we wish we could. But we can start small with a focus on wellness. A holiday is great, but it isn't a long-term solution to stress. Don't forget that therapy can help you navigate whatever challenges the workday or any day might bring. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/unsolicited. BetterHelp, that's HELP.com/unsolicited. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unsolicited Advice. I'm Taryn.
I'm Ashley. Also, since we're all part of the UA family here, we're going to have you guys do a little bit of homework. We need you to stop what you're doing, give us a 5-star review, give us a good, leave us a good comment in the review section, and send this episode to someone who needs to hear it. Possibly a girl who's dealing with a douchebag man, because that's what we mostly talk about today.
Yep. What's up, Ash?
Oh,
Nicole.
Nothing much. Still on cloud 9 from the royal wedding.
Oh my gosh, have we not? Oh, we haven't talked about this on the podcast.
We haven't recorded.
Should we do a little breakdown? Because it's what the people want to know.
I have never. This wedding, Remy spared no expense. Taryn and I both were guests at Miss Remy Ashton and Cal Parsons, Mrs. Remy Ashton Parsons and Cal Parsons' wedding. And I think I even said this in a caption, I've never felt so much love in one room at a wedding before. So much love. And that says a lot because I I don't know his side of the family. Like we went to the movies with them, his parents and like his siblings once. And that's really the extent that I've met his extended family. And there's so many family members on Rim's side that I don't know that well outside of like her mom. So like all that says a lot for like how much love I felt in the room.
Yeah.
And I've just, they both looked so good.
Yeah. It's crazy because like I forget sometimes like how big of a deal our friends are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like scrolling on my TikTok and I came across like this girl's TikTok and she was like basically trying to figure out when the wedding was. And she was like, I have nobody to talk about this to. I think Remy got married last weekend.
Yeah.
And it was like all these conspiracies about when did the wedding happen? Because all of us were very like hush hush about when it was happening, where it was happening, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like Rem politely asked us, and then Alicia forcefully reminded us.
Rem sent this like sweet little text message like, hey guys, if you don't mind doing me a big favor and not posting or tagging or even sharing your location or
Like,
even on close
friends,
stories, like don't share it. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Immediately followed by a text from Alicia that was like, Remy might not kill you, but I will stab you. I will cut you if you tag the location, if you show you're in Santa Barbara, if you show anything. Like it's you will be disowned and I will personally cut you.
Yeah.
And so literally no one posted anything and we all did a good job. Thank God.
Yeah, it was so cool, but it's been so crazy seeing the internet go nuts for this wedding.
Yes.
But rightfully so. Like this wedding was something like I feel like all of us will only experience once in our life. It was the most beautiful, thought out.
Epic.
Like I felt like I was at a royal wedding, which it rightfully so was. But if you know anything about Remy, you know that she goes so extra, like above and beyond for her friends. And her wedding wasn't an exception. Like you could tell that she planned every single detail to make sure that like all of us had the most amazing time. Like it wasn't for her.
No.
It wasn't for her and Cal. It was for everyone to have just like an experience. And you could tell in like every freaking detail down to the craziest thing happened. So I'm walking at the like cocktail hour and my heel went into the grass. And I was like, oh, my heels keep sinking. I'm not joking. This lady appears with a little bag and she's like, here you go, ma'am. And it was stoppers for heels. Like, it was like, I was like, where am I?
Oh my God.
Where am I?
Also,
What is
it
happening?
was like black tie and everybody showed up and showed out with their outfits, which is just all you ever really want in a wedding. Like even Jackson and I have been talking a lot about like wedding stuff for our own wedding coming up. And it was like not even a question. Like we are doing black tie because I love getting dressed up. So does Jackson. And he was like, Remy's wedding's a black tie. Obviously I'm wearing a tux. And I was like, absolutely
like,
yes. And like, I just loved seeing like all of our friends and family members like dressed to the nines. And Remy even sent us like a mood board saying like she wanted lots of color and like she wanted us to like really dress up, not hold back, so that, you know, how some weddings are like, let the bride shine and you just kind of like be in the background.
She was like, no. Out.
She was like, no. And I've gone to weddings like this before where they were like, hey, like we want like full send the dresses, like full send the outfits. So everyone showed up in like bright, fun colors, just like the mood board, and all the guys dressed up in like tuxes or had like cool designs on their tux, which was really fun. So it kind of felt like Bridgerton, like the cocktail hour.
Yeah.
We were in front of this beautiful estate. There's a giant pool, huge polo grounds, and everyone's in their fun fits. And I was like, oh, is this an episode of Bridgerton?
No, I literally bought my dress that I wore to the wedding from the same store that I used to go buy like my winter formal and prom dresses from.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
it's so small like, town.
In the Ontario Mills Mall.
Oh my God.
Where there's still a Rainforest Cafe. Okay. It's just like this huge dress shop that has like every color of the rainbow you can imagine, like tulle, beads, like huge like dresses. So if you're ever
what store
looking, I don't remember what it's called.
Because
it's right by the Rainforest Cafe.
Because I got my winter formals and prom dresses at Windsor in the Ontario Mills Mall. So I was that would have been hilarious if it was the same store.
Yeah, but they have like a good size range and options. But yeah.
Wow, I haven't been to the Ontario Mills Mall.
It's an experience.
In probably 12 years.
It's an experience. If you know, you know. Okay, let's break down some of our favorite details of the wedding.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I loved, because if you see any clips from the wedding, like Remy's first dance or not the wedding, the reception.
Yeah.
You could see, because it's a lot of like social media people were there.
Yeah.
So it's like phone galore. Like everyone's phone is out and recording and like capturing the moment.
I personally loved.
No, like loved. But what I really loved was that the ceremony, she really wanted us all to just like be there and enjoy it. So we had to like lock our phones. There was like a company there that took your phone, locked it, and gave you the bag.
Yeah.
And so none of us had phones, cameras, nothing. Like we were all just able to like really be there and be like a part of the moment. And I thought that was like such a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And I love that she did that, even for her to like feel connected. Like when you look out at all the people, like there was a couple times where the officiant was like, look out at all these people. And like, imagine if she would have looked out and it was just all our phones up. Like, it was kind of nice that like we just were able to like connect with her and Cal in that moment, you know?
Yeah, totally. They've done that. The only time I've ever done that before where they've like confiscated phones was at like a premiere for like a movie. So I loved that idea, fully support and get behind that. It was so cool. Even just like not being able to like, while we were waiting, just like hop on our phones. Like, a huge moment was Lana Del Rey was there.
Oh my
gosh. Me and Taryn weren't sitting next to each other. I couldn't text you.
Yeah, so I had no idea.
I literally kept like turning around and trying to get your attention without like standing up and being like, Taryn! Yeah. So, but like, and it was such a little thing of like, oh, I don't have my phone. I can't text her. Yeah. So I would just like turn around and try to like catch your eye. And then I finally mouthed it. And it was just like such a fun concept of just like, oh, like we're literally here. We're all freaking out because she's here. We're all freaking out because Remy's about to walk down the aisle. And I was fully present in that moment because I didn't have my phone.
Yeah.
And I fully loved that.
Yeah. Lana Del Rey being there was freaking wild. Like if you know the backstory, it makes sense. Like she genuinely loves Remy, Alicia, and Ollie as much as they love her, which is wild. Yeah. But also because she loves them so much, like she knows who me and Ashley are, which is insane. Yeah. My moment with her, I was talking to, at the cocktail hour, I was talking to her sister, actually, Chuck, who the just sweetest gem of a person.
And is the reason she watched YouTube, period.
Yes. Yeah. So me and Chuck were talking about her daughter and just like kind of like talking about, but it's like, I try to be very conscious of like not overstepping, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like I kept leaving openness to like have the conversation stop, but she was just like talking to me and we were just like vibing out. Loved it. I look across the group of people we were with and me and Lana lock eyes and she goes like waves and smiles like really big. And I was like, there's no shot she's waving at me right now. Like what is happening? So then we like walk towards each other. She gives me a big hug. While she's hugging me, I was like, hi, I'm Taryn. And she goes, I know. And I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Stop it right now. But I was like, be chill, be chill. I was like, cool. Like, so good to see you. I'm this beautiful. I don't even know what I said. I blacked out after that. But she's just like the sweetest person. They were taking a group picture. She called for me to like jump in the picture. I was like, I don't know what's happening right now, but this is not my life. Yeah. This is not my life.
Can we talk about her posting a photo with my mom in it?
That is my favorite detail.
Like Alicia, Ollie, and Remy being in the photos obviously made perfect sense. When I scrolled through her dump of Remy's wedding and spotted my mother in the photo with her, I was like, Miss Ma'am, how did you finagle that? But it makes sense because literally out of everyone at that wedding, my mom is like the most pure soul. Good for her.
She deserves it. She deserves it.
Good for Christine.
Yes, she does. She deserves it. I was just so genuinely shocked by like how like nice she was and just how like real. She was truly just like, I'm so happy to be here. Yeah. Like you could feel that.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
I had a very similar experience. Jackson and I were walking in and just honestly like kind of like taking in the estate because it was that jaw dropping. We'll add footage so you guys can see all this.
No, literally we were in Italy.
Yeah.
Like it felt like we were back in Italy.
Yep.
At like a rich person's like
Could have
villa.
been in Florence for all we know. It doesn't matter.
Stunning.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Stunning.
So we're taking in the estate, and like this photographer that's working at the wedding immediately walks up to us and is like, "Hey guys, you want to hop over here and like get a photo together?" And I was like, you know me.
Absolutely.
I was like, yes, ma'am, we sure do. Like, point the way. So we go to like walk and follow her, and she takes us right in front of Lana and her sister who are standing there and like not talking to anyone, and they're like kind of off to the side, and we literally walk like cross right in front of them. Lana and I make eye contact. She waves, same little like thing. Same little thing. And then her and her sister go, "Congratulations." And I was like, girl.
I was like,
only
does she recognize you? She knows details.
Yeah. And then
of your
Jackson's
life.
jaw literally drops. And she was just like, "We're so excited for you guys." And I was just like, "He's right here." I was like, "That's crazy that you even know about this." And I was like, "Sorry, like that wasn't expecting that." And she was like, "Girl, we watch your vlogs too." And I was like,
dude.
And I think
what?
I also blacked out. There's so many things I could have told her. But
Yeah.
literally, Lana Del Rey's Summertime Sadness album was my entire 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I listened to. Me and my sister would blast it in my Toyota Corolla all summer long. That's all I listened to. And been a fan ever since. And I cannot believe that she even knows my name, let alone is like actually kind. You know how they say like don't meet your
Yeah.
highly, I'm not saying go find her, but like highly recommend. That was an excellent, like great interaction. I feel like Taryn and I did it really well. We had our moment. Nice to meet you, whatever.
And then let her enjoy her night.
And we tried to not like bombard her in any way. The gays were going crazy though.
The gays did not get that memo.
I felt like every time I looked up and would like remember she was here and
she
like
was surrounded by gays.
She was still right where I had left her at the very beginning, and all the gays were just like hovering, and I was like, oh no. I think Alicia and Ollie like did a good job of like stealing her away and giving her some space to breathe. But
also like I get it.
It was hard not
it's
to.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, it was hard not to.
And she talked back to you. So it's like
she encouraged the conversation.
Like you could keep a conversation going with her. So yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. As summer is getting close, a lot of us are winding down from our workplace stress. And I don't know about you, but I definitely do not want to take the stress that has accumulated over this year into the summer with me. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. To battle stress, most of us can't wave goodbye to work, even though we wish we could. But we can start small with a focus on wellness. For me, that can be a cup of coffee, a walk outside, maybe going to the beach, or honestly just spending time with family and friends. A holiday is great, but it isn't a long-term solution to stress. Don't forget that therapy can help you navigate whatever challenges the workday or any day might bring. You guys know we are huge advocates for therapy. I personally used BetterHelp when I was going through my low point, and I couldn't have found a better, more just like convenient and easy to use platform to get help with what I was going through. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works. With an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews. It's convenient too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists anytime. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/unsolicited. BetterHelp, that's HELP.com/unsolicited. Okay, so some of my favorite part, well, first of all, the food, not surprised. It's Remy.
Oh my
Cooking with Remy showed up. Like, every single thing down to like the appetizers that were served at cocktail hour was so delicious.
The tuna crispy rice.
The filet, I've never had meat like melt in my mouth like that before. It was just, everything was so good. And then like you're enjoying your food and then you look over your shoulder and there's a latte bar. Mm-hmm. A latte bar.
With their names in the latte art.
No, literally they had a machine. They put the latte or matcha or whatever under and it would either print an emblem that said like C and R or a picture of their dog, like a cartoon of their dog.
It was
like,
the cutest
what?
thing.
And now I'm like, thank you, Remy, because now I have to have a latte bar at my wedding.
Yeah.
I have
no,
to.
she just set the bar. All my friends' weddings are all insane.
You need to.
And
Everyone
set the bar
needs to calm
so
down.
high. I hope everyone's ready for like something a little more chill for mine, because like there's literally no way. But yeah, latte bar was absolutely insane. Something that Jackson and I took note of, and I think I literally will copy paste, was instead of having live music or just a DJ, she had a DJ and a horn section.
Yeah, that was sick.
That, in my opinion, was the perfect combination, because I love live music, but nothing hits better than the actual song.
Yeah.
And live music covers are okay, especially if you have like some fun artists, fun musicians that can like really get into it. But like, who can sing Bruno Mars other than Bruno Mars?
No,
literally.
So
it's like, it was the perfect combination of like live instruments plus like the actual songs.
And it was fun like vibing out with them. Like they were just, it was
they
like
were into it.
3 or 4 and they like had sunglasses on and they were just like kind of like vibing to the songs, but then they would like come and go. It was that was a good mix.
Yes, I literally was like noted for mine because that was perfect.
Well, and then not only was the wedding, everything was beautiful, immaculate. Then they come on and say, hey, if everyone can go load into the shuttles to go to the after party.
Yeah, which it's late. It's like 12:45. It's borderline 1. Everyone's
Wasn't that late?
Starting to get tired. Yeah, because the after party ended at 2.
I didn't realize it was that late. I was in the bubble.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm not joking. It was like Neon Carnival, basically like merch. There was merch that was like great. I love my sweatshirt. There was a Korean market. There was a vending machine that had Labubus and Sunny Angels, another DJ, drinks. It was just like, I've never experienced anything like that, and I probably never will.
When Remy and Alicia took us to Korea, one of the main things we wanted to hit up that was on our list that we had to do was a night market. And we went to the Myeongdong night market. And part of me is like, because the little birdie had told me that there was going to be a night market after party. And I'm like, did she decide that when we were in Korea? Did she decide that after Korea? Did she decide that before and like wanted to go get inspo at the night market when we went? Like, when did all of this like come into place?
Together.
Oh, so like having been to an actual night market and then going to hers, it was literal perfection. Like they had tteokbokki, which is like the little rice cakes in the spicy red sauce, which is just fire. I think it's like gochujang spicy sauce. And then they had donghulu, which is the sugar-coated fruit on a stick.
That was my first time trying it.
Incredible.
It was the best thing I think I've ever had.
Also, I don't know how this has ever happened before. I always go strawberry or grape, but specifically strawberry. I had my first white strawberry donghulu. Incredible. Just as sweet. I don't know why in my head like the white was going to be not as sweet.
Yeah.
Just as sweet as like a deep red, perfectly ripe strawberry. So good. But then the best part that I literally freaked out over was the drink station. I had so much fun, and I knew when I was going to go to Korea that I was going to go crazy in the 7-Elevens and the nice to see yous, because I watched that content religiously. The girl dinner, nice to see you, or 7-Eleven content is like a lot of my For You page. So that was one of my favorite parts of Korea. And so to see it there was so much fun. I posted of what I ate at Remy's wedding. And you could tell like at that point I had multiple martinis, because I'm just like screaming the whole time.
Yeah.
And like I'm super loud. And it was just so much fun.
It was so fun. I got my first Labubu and it was just pure chaos in like the best way. And I think all of us are like gonna relive that night for a very long time. So
also my parents were invited. Obviously, I mentioned my mom being in the photo. I looked out at like 1:30. They were still there.
Oh yeah,
just chatting.
Yep,
just chatting with Jeremy, Lauren's husband, and I was just like, I love this for you guys. Like, this is so crazy.
No, it was
top 10 weddings I've ever been to.
Oh,
top 5.
Top 2, honestly.
So good.
So good.
Okay, well that concludes our Miss Remy Ashton.
Oh, wait.
wedding.
Also, I roomed with Bretman.
Yes. How did you not say that yet?
No. I think we're officially like friends.
I mean, I would hope so.
I love him.
Invited you to stay with him.
He's not like, he is everything you would imagine. Like, he's just the kindest person. He's so like, will go out of his way to like help me get ready or like what. Like, he's just such a gem of a person. And I'm so glad, like you were saying with Lana, like you get scared when you like meet people that you're like, no, I actually like I really like you, who I think you are. Like the version of you I've formed in my mind.
Or you are authentically who you are online, and you are who you are in person.
And I've had a few encounters with him that have been amazing. But I was like, okay, if I'm like staying in the same place as you, like this is where I really would see the cracks would show. And no, he's an angel. He's like the best.
Love it.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
So much
fun. Anyways, okay, we need to move on. What do we want to hit it, tearing it up?
Let's hit it, tearing it up. You guys know the routine. This one is titled Tearing It Up. An Italian man breaks my fall, parentheses, literally.
Oh.
Hello, Ashley and Taryn. My name's Ethan. I'm proudly part of your small but mighty male listener demographic.
Love that.
I adore your podcast and look forward to every single Monday. I've been sitting on this story since last summer, and my friend finally convinced me to write it in for a Tearing It Up. So here goes nothing. Last summer, I did a 7-week study abroad program in Italy. We had classes during the week, so every weekend, my friends and I would hop on trains and explore a new city.
That's honestly, I'm very jealous.
What a dream. One weekend, we decided to visit Lake Como to do a bit of sightseeing. Now, here's what you need to know about me. I get motion sickness, like real bad. Planes, trains, automobiles, you name it. Even boats. I don't ride on. Give me anxiety. But I came prepared. I had my trusty motion sickness bracelet and secured a forward-facing train seat. Smooth sailing. I felt like I'd finally beaten the system. The next day, we took a bus to Bellagio, and this is where it all went downhill. Pun intended. The bus pulls up and no seats. I think, okay, it's fine. I'll just stand. But this was not standing. This was sardine-style body-to-body contact, no airflow, all windows sealed, and the bus driver drove like we were in the Fast and Furious movies. The stops were jerky, the roads were curvy, I was sweating, sniffling from a cold, and slowly spiraling into a dizzy nausea pit. At one point, I knew it was over. My vision blurred, my body got light, and I thought I'm either going to puke on my friend's back or die. But no, I chose to black out instead. Like fully passed out, backwards, onto a man I never met in my life. When I came to, which was only a few seconds later, I spun around, ready to apologize to my friend, only to lock eyes with a very confused Italian man.
Oh, yep.
My friend was sitting 2 seats behind him. I had completely missed her. Panicked, I scrambled to piece together a half apology in my broken Italian. He was super sweet and just kind of smiled at me like, Americanos. What are you gonna do? We finally got off the bus, and when I told my friend what happened, we absolutely lost it. And the best part, my nausea magically disappeared after eating the most incredible pesto pasta of my life later that day. So in a way, the trauma was worth it. Anyways, thanks for giving me a reason to laugh at myself again. Whether or not this makes the podcast, I hope it gave you a little chuckle. I attached a picture of my friends and I, along with a picture of me, since I recently graduated from UC Davis with my BS in human development. Love you both, Ethan. Here's the photos of Ethan and friends.
Cute.
And then here's a photo of just Ethan.
Wow.
What a
Congratulations.
Cutie. Congratulations. That is such an achievement. Also that, what is it called? The graduation scarf?
Oh,
the sash. Right.
Rachel just made one for Axel's graduation and I forgot.
This one is beautiful.
Yeah, it is
it's
very
like
beautiful.
gold and it has like a floral design at the tip. Like I would wear that out.
Yeah.
Like that's just like, that's absolutely stunning.
Catch me at the bar on a Friday night.
You just wrap it and cross it and all of a sudden you have a top, you know? It's like a scarf.
So
congratulations on graduating. And I'm so glad you survived the humidity and falling on a stranger on a bus.
Yeah. I have definitely like fallen onto a man's lap before. And it's the most embarrassing and like intimate occurrence. Like you're just like,
what do you say?
Like you pop up so fast and you're like, I don't know how to like.
Yeah. You're like, sorry. You don't make eye contact.
But you're like, no, I just like.
You also fell on the dance floor at Remy's wedding.
Oh, I did fall on the dance floor at Remy's wedding.
Not to bring it back to Remy's wedding.
With my heels on, my dress was still like a couple centimeters too long, but I didn't want to pay to get it hemmed because I was like, it's fine. I'll be fine. But then when the dancing happened, the shoes came off.
Right.
And my dress was like a bunch of tulle.
Yeah.
And so I'm dancing on the dance floor. I put my foot down and immediately I was like, uh-oh, because my heel just landed on the tulle. And when I tell you, both of my feet just like flew up into the air. I fell flat.
Like her feet went up in front of her and she fell back.
I fell flat and then I sat there and I covered my face with my hands because I was dying.
No, my favorite part is I see her fall and it's just like a mess of tulle, right? Like you don't really see Taryn, you just see like her dress go up and then her fall down. Oh, my favorite part was she was barefoot and her feet were sticking out. I couldn't see her because Jackson was in front of me and it was like crowded. So like I literally couldn't see her face. So all I saw was her feet sticking out from her dress and she immediately like points and like puts her feet together like I knew. I was like, she's embarrassed.
My toes were like,
her feet just go bing. It was the funniest thing.
Well, and then it's so sweet, but like all the men rush to help me up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is not going to be good because I don't know. I was just like wrapped in tulle. So I'm like, I'm going to step to stand up and just keep like shooting backwards like over and over. But
no, they got you up so quick.
Like I think Jackson was the main one, like scoop me up. And
it was like she fell. I saw the toes point and then bing, she was back up again. And then
we
she was
all
dancing.
Started jumping and like chanting.
It was
but
so funny.
I was telling Ashley, moments like that, I'm never like embarrassed that I fell.
Yeah.
I get embarrassed because I'm like, people probably are looking at me like, oh, she's so drunk. She just fell on the dance floor. And I'm like, but I'm not. I'm just klutzy.
That's literally my whole life.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm necessarily shy.
Yeah.
But I'm so concerned with how other people
perceiving
me.
the moment.
And it's such a huge, like, I need to like cut it and I don't know how to stop it, but I totally know what you're feeling when you're like, people are going to think I'm just like a mess when like, I literally just slept. I literally just slept. It's fine.
It's the tool.
It's the tool.
But I was like, why does my back hurt so bad the next day? And I was like,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyways, thanks for bringing that up, Ash.
Perfect.
Okay. This one is titled, He Said I Was Too Much. Was I?
I don't believe in that.
Honestly, maybe.
I don't believe in that.
Maybe, but also like, if he couldn't handle you, that's on him. Hi, Ashley and Taryn. My name is Olivia. I'm 22 years old, and I don't mind being named on the podcast. Say it with your chest, Olivia.
Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. Okay. I'm writing because I went through a really painful breakup a week ago, and I don't know how to move forward. I've written my story below, and I would be grateful for any advice or insight you might have. I really appreciate the supportive space you create on your show, and it means a lot just to feel heard. Thank you for taking the time to read this.
I love
so
that.
Sweet. Recently went through a breakup with my boyfriend of almost 4 years. Damn. I feel you so hard on that.
Damn.
That was mine, and I was like around that age, like 23, 24 when we broke up. He's 23, and we had just moved into a new apartment together after living together for over 2 years. And we were still planning our future up until the day we broke up.
Damn.
It's always wild to me when it's like, last week we were talking about getting married, and like today he doesn't want to be with me.
Yeah. And it's like over?
Yeah.
What
happened?
He
ended things a week ago. He told me he couldn't handle it anymore because I was struggling emotionally. I deal with anxiety.
Sorry, what?
I know. All of us are like, bleh. We hate him.
Sorry, huh?
I deal with anxiety and depression, and when I feel things, I feel them deeply. I understand that it can be overwhelming at times, and I respect his honesty, but I can't help feeling heartbroken about how it ended. I don't feel like we got a proper chance to talk about what we both needed and how we could improve. He just decided to end things one day to the other. It came as a shock to me as he had shown no signs. He had been acting like normal, and we had talked about baby names just the week before.
What?
We never really had the deep conversations about what we both needed. I think if we had communicated better, maybe we wouldn't be here. But open communication was always hard for him. I truly believed he was my soulmate. I felt completely safe with him. Now I feel like I've lost my partner, my home, and my sense of direction all at once. I'm about to start school in a month. I'm moving again, and I don't know who I am without him. I feel like I don't know how to do life without him. He said he often prioritized me over himself, and I can see that in some situations. But I also gave him a lot of space to be who he is, to go out with friends, do his own thing. I think I've often prioritized him over myself too. Isn't that a part of a relationship, supporting each other even when it's hard? Yeah. My friends and family keep telling me all the things I know are rational, that this is what's best for me, that your soulmate wouldn't leave you like this, that he'll realize what he lost. I know they're trying to help, but it just doesn't reach me right now. I miss him. I can't imagine ever being loved like that again or loving someone else the way I loved him. What also hurt was the way he left. He said things like accusing me of breaking his things or being with someone else, which are not true. If he truly believed I could do that, then maybe he really never knew me. I would never intentionally hurt him. I've only ever wanted what's best for him. I don't want someone to stay with me out of pity. I want someone who chooses me even on the hard days, someone who believes in me and supports me, someone who sees the work I'm doing on myself and still wants to be a part of the journey. So here's where I'm at. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to stop loving him or how to imagine a future without him in it. I feel like I've lost my best friend. I want to believe this was for the best, but my heart hasn't caught up yet. How do I move on when everything still feels like it belongs to him? How do I believe in love again? How do I start over when I don't even know where to begin? Thank you for reading this and for creating a space that feels safe enough to write into. I really appreciate any advice you have. With love, Olivia.
I'm going to say, I don't like him.
I want to throw up.
I don't like him. I don't like how he's like bringing up things that one you're saying aren't true out of nowhere. I don't like how this happened out of nowhere. I don't like that he had a conversation.
You.
Yeah, I don't like how he had a conversation about like your future and your kids. And then like the next week, like clearly didn't mean anything he said in that conversation if he broke up with you next week, you know? So like something had to have happened.
That's what I'm
saying. For there to be like a big switch like that. Or he's like super conniving and like scary.
Yeah, I think like why I say he's white fanging you is like, you know, in New Girl when Schmidt's like, go on, get out of here. I don't want you or whatever.
I don't want you.
Yeah, it's like that whole, it's almost like he is trying to make the breakup like the nail in the coffin of like, this is over and you shouldn't want me. But it makes no sense how we got from like the math ain't mathin'. Like how did we get from point A to point B? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And
well, you don't date someone for 4 years and then just spring all of this random stuff on them. Something had to have happened for you to like slowly like start feeling this way. For sure.
And you just moved into a new place, which is like you wouldn't make that decision if you didn't see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, he wouldn't be encouraging any of this.
I think these breakups and these type of people I feel bad for them because they're so like lost and trapped in their own selves.
Totally.
But it's the worst because you never fully get the answer or explanation.
Yeah.
You get the like roundabout and like they act weird and erratic to get you over them. But you never fully get just them saying like, the other day I was at a store. Someone was talking about their wife and how they've been with him 40 years. I freaked out because I don't know if I see that and decide. Like, it's like they feel like they're scared of hurting you with the reason, so they avoid it.
So they come up with other ones.
But then you have no closure. Like, I would rather a man look in my face, and even though it would hurt, I would rather him say, hey,
I don't love you.
You're not my person. I care about you. I love what we've had together, but I really don't see a forever with you.
It's devastating.
Like, ouch.
It's devastating. But
like clarity.
I can wrap my head around the fact that your feelings have changed.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around the fact that like you're making up all of this stuff. It makes it seem more like there's something else going on or that there's still a possibility of a future instead of you simply saying it's over. Like, you're not my person. I don't love you. It's like, yikes, ouch. But like, way more comprehensible than making something up.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy and you can't like track, you know?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard, honestly, to move on. It's like what we've talked about so much. Like sometimes closure is easier to attain, obviously, when you're able to sit with a person and have like mature, honest conversations and like throw everything out there, get it all out and move forward.
But that's assuming like both players are acting like adults.
For sure.
Yeah.
With him, it doesn't sound like he's at a place he can give you that.
Because he's acting like a child.
So I feel like you're going to have to find that closure on your own, which is totally possible. Like I've done it many times. I think it's possible. But I think it just takes a lot of accepting that you don't know and you might not ever know.
Yeah.
But realizing like the outcome is still going to be the same. And like you working on yourself and rebuilding your love for yourself and who you are as a person is the most important thing. And then from there, you'll start to take steps of like, who do I want to date now? And opening yourself up to stuff. But I think when you take a blow like that, yourself, how you feel about yourself takes a blow because you're automatically going to start thinking like, well, what could I have done different?
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden? But in reality, like when a person leaves, that's on them. That is on them. That's whether they're dealing with their demons, whether they figured out that you're not their person. Like that is something that is their decision and should be on them. It's not on you. It's not because of you. Like it's really hard to separate the two, but I would recommend trying really hard to like tell yourself these things until it like starts to settle in.
Yeah. I've said it before on this podcast and I'll say it again on this podcast. I really think that closure is sometimes a spiraling vortex that can like suck you in and like it becomes like this consuming thing where you feel like you have to have closure. Is closure good and is it helpful? Absolutely. If it's a possibility, if it's like one of the cards on the table. If it's not one of the cards on the table, you are able, I firmly believe this, to give yourself closure. Like Taryn said, I think it becomes a process of taking what was done, how he acted, all of these things, and laying it out in front of you and processing it to the point where you realize that your person would have never done that to you. Your person wouldn't have made up all of these excuses to break up with you. Your person would have, you know, had an actual conversation with you or like just treated you better, period.
Yeah.
And that's enough closure in and of itself. And I think it's sometimes important when you don't get real closure, person to person closure, to make sure you sit down and have that tough moment with yourself, because then you're able to shut that door, lock it, throw away the key, and finally move on. So it's just a process of like taking those steps. It's not fun. It's very hard and it's not going to be easy, but I think you can bring people in on it to include you, a bestie, a sister, someone who can help you like talk through it, or you can do it yourself. You can go to therapy too. But I do think finding closure on your own is possible. And I think it's monumental when it comes to moving on.
Well, I think it's like important to think like what's the end goal?
Yeah.
I think closure with the person, if it's like, well, I want to be able to say all the things that I wanted to say, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, what do you want? I had a friend who we basically like her boyfriend dumped her out of nowhere. We kind of like started Sherlock Holmesing the situation and we're like, oh, he for sure cheated. Like the timeline, certain things we found out with this other girl in the picture, it was like for sure stamp like he cheated.
Done. Yeah.
And so he reached out to her and was like, hey, when he kind of figured out like the jig was up, like she knew.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, if you want to talk and like ask me anything or like hash anything out, like let me know.
Yeah.
And she just responded like, nope, I'm good. And I asked her, I was like, that's crazy. Like, you didn't want to go, like, confront him or, like, whatever. And she was like, to me, that would have hurt me more to have to sit and look at him and hear him tell me that he cheated on me. This is how they met. This is what she was like, for me, I don't want that. She's like, I'm fine with, like, him knowing, nope, I'm good. Like,
I don't
want
need your
nothing
excuses.
to do with you.
I don't need your story.
Exactly.
Also, maybe it's a pride thing, but I would love to be like the first to be like, nope, Bye.
Right?
Like, love that.
But that was
taking
like
that power.
when she looked at the situation realistically and sat back and was like, what do I actually need out of this? She made the right decision for her.
Yeah.
So I think like closure and like how to move forward is very dependent on your situation. I also think with the whole like, how do I trust again? I think sometimes we need to like reframe the way we think. So, hey, I got hurt. I right now am not at a place where I can like trust another man, and I've got work to do with myself, but I know that that will come. You see the difference there? Instead of like, oh my gosh, how am I ever? I don't know if I could ever. It's when you say your words that you speak to yourself are important.
Yeah.
So if you go around saying, I don't think I can ever love again, why would you like put that on yourself? You know, I think you say right now, I am not interested in forming a loving relationship with a man right now.
Yeah.
I'm still healing.
Yeah.
But someday when I'm ready, it's going to be beautiful.
You need a break from men.
There's such a difference though in like how you talk to yourself. And I think our words are powerful. So I would encourage you to like stop putting those statements out of I'll never love again. I'll never trust again. I'll never move on. Just I'm really sad right now because I lost somebody that I loved, and I'm not ready for that right now because I'm in a time of healing. And that's it. But like, don't cap yourself with like those statements. You know what I'm saying?
You're only hurting yourself.
Yeah. But, you know, I loved fresh breakup Taryn. She was so sad and crusty from just crying for hours and hours. But she did the work. And like who I am today is thanks to her. And I think we are like, combination of different versions of ourselves throughout our life. If I had to pick my MVP of my life, it's post-breakup Taryn.
Yeah.
Because she really like went through so much, but like picked us up and emerged like a phoenix. And I like who I am is like built from like the work that was like done on her back, you know? So I think that you're going to enter into a tough time, but this is like the building block of the rest of your life. And this is going to be the time you look back and you're like, dang, like imagine.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like, imagine if I would have married him.
Yeah.
I was so sad because I couldn't marry him, but
you would have been so sad because you were married to him.
Oh, girl. We wouldn't know each other.
No, not at all.
We would not know each other.
Not at all. We bonded over a
so
single
far
life.
sucked up that man's, you know, I didn't have my own life. I didn't have my own personality. Nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's crazy to think like what you, Olivia, like what your life is going to turn into because you have the space to do it now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm excited.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah. You got this, girl.
You got this, girl. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into my story today. This one is titled, I Don't Even Know Who My Boyfriend Is Anymore, and I'm at a Loss. Hello, Taryn and Ash. Before jumping into what I need advice on, I just wanted to say that I'm huge fans and have been since I was in middle school, which is making me feel
a little
bit
feel
old.
so
Thank you for
young
that.
and brisk.
I just graduated from college.
Oh my God. Well, we've been around the block together.
Evidently. I just graduated from college, so your content and podcasts have helped carry me through every little thing and stage of my life so far.
No, we raised you.
Like her whole...
We straight up raised
call
you.
us mom. Mom one, mom two.
Aunt.
I could go on and on about how much I love you guys, but I am in need of some big sister advice. I would like to stay anonymous, but you can know my name. Apologies in advance if this is so long. I'm bleep it, Michaela, and my boyfriend and I have been together for a little over 7 months. We met online and sparks flew immediately on our first date, and things have been so great ever since. He's in the Army, about to start in the Doctorate of Nutrition program to become a dietitian in the Army, and I just graduated from college with my degree in dramatic writing. The difference. Yeah. That's so funny. He's my first boyfriend, and my love for him has only grown since the day we met, and I genuinely don't know how I got so lucky to have someone that's so loving, understanding, supportive, and encouraging to be my first love.
Aw.
At least that's what I thought. He's going through a lot at work and is being questioned for a miscommunication and technology error that wasn't his fault when he came to my graduation, but that his base is looking into. He texted me on Monday asking if I could call him when I was free, so I did. He was venting about the talk with the officer in charge of his case, and I had no clue how much everything was going to change. To clarify, before I met him, he was part of the Doctorate of Physical Therapy program at his base, and he told me that he left the program because it wasn't what he thought PT would be exactly and wasn't what he ultimately wanted. That's fine, and I never questioned it at all. I transferred schools, so I understood seeking something different when you know it's just not a good fit for you. Then he tells me in the interview the IO had with him on Monday that they asked why he left the PT program and then asked if it was for academic integrity reasons. He then essentially says that there was an allegation against him at the end of the first semester for cheating, and the dean / someone said that he left the program voluntarily when they wouldn't pursue the case or investigate it. So that's what he ended up doing. And the entire time I've known him, though he always told me it was because PT wasn't the right fit for him and he would rather do something else, he'd been lying to me because he had actually cheated and had gotten caught. We've all cheated, so I don't think too negatively about it. Then he says that he's worried that they're going to question one of the captains he's really close to and worked under and asked her why he left the program. When she confronts him and asks him why he left, he says it's because his brother died. Both of his brothers, his parents and grandparents are still alive. So that's another lie. I hate that and my jaw drops because it's not even something to joke about, especially in his field of work where the military can easily find out the truth. He's almost 26 and somehow didn't see that as a problem or an awful thing to say at the time. These are huge red flags and I'm not taking them lightly. It was so out of character for who he is and who I thought he was. My sister says I should break up with him now and let him go because it's so messed up, and I agree that it's so messed up and something I don't deserve. I want to talk with him in person before making any final decision and have already been upfront with him that this has hurt me a lot and I need time and space to process these things. It's also really hard for me to think about breaking up, even though it does end up being the best thing for me because he has been through some of the biggest accomplishments in my life. I've been a mess and I'm at a total loss with everything, and I feel like everything's crumbling at my feet. I don't know what to do, and any advice at all that you're willing to give would be greatly appreciated. I've put some photos below of him and I, and just myself too. I know you guys love photos. Thank you again for all that you do, and I hope you both have a great rest of your day. Love.
Cute.
Just a little cutie again with the graduation sash.
Stop. That's her boyfriend, I'm assuming.
That's her boyfriend, yeah. Just stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning.
It's funny because I love when I listen to the stories because in the beginning, I was kind of well, I don't think people need to necessarily offer,
every
if I
detail.
got fired from a job because I took something home I wasn't supposed to or something, and then I start dating someone and they're why did you leave that job? I don't know if I'd necessarily just offer it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's something small.
Yeah.
Or if his case where it's to me, I was he got caught cheating on a paper and was I just don't want to deal with the inquiry. I'm just going to leave. So at first I was still, I feel like he should have told you, but people are allowed to have their own
lives,
personal things,
pasts.
Especially if it was before they met you, whatever. The brother being dead, but not really, is very
concerning.
That's weird behavior.
I would say that's where the tables turned for me too, because I agree with you, Taryn.
We all lie.
Everyone has their own past. Everyone has issues they've gone through. He was young at the time. I've even talked on here how I used to have a problem with little white lies, and I had to get my together because I was Ashley, this is not okay. So that part didn't bother me as much. Being confronted about it and lying again is the main thing with such a big lie.
That's
your
not
brother's
even
dead?
Yeah,
when he's not?
You could have said I had a family emergency.
That's so specific.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't understand. To me, that's weird. That's so much bigger than even just lying, which I mean, if you have a partner who lies, like that's something to think about. Like for the rest of your life, like, are you going to be like, is this true? Like when he tells me like, oh, sorry, we had to stay an extra day because our boat crashed. Like, were you on a boat? Like, especially if you lie that extreme. Like, I do think it is a very big red flag. And for me, I would be worried about that. Also, like lying to like a government agency, like I just would be.
Also, part of me is like, did he just cheat? Like part of me feels like that's a lie. If they're literally having an investigation and like questioning one of his superior officers about it and bringing it up, like it feels like there might have been more than what he's actually saying.
His lie being so intense makes me wonder if it's bigger too. Because why did you plagiarize your paper? Oh my, because my brother died. Like versus like a bigger accusation.
Yeah. It kind of feels like something crazier happened than what he's letting you know about. And that's why his lie is so like out of nowhere and so jaw-droppingly like huge. Because like you don't lie about that unless you like have to cover up for something major. Like a family death is like, are you kidding me? That's it's absolutely like it's the one thing that like it kind of excuses you from like a lot of things. And if it's not true, then I don't know. I just very sus.
There's so like we've all done that. Oh, I ran out of gas, or I got like
sorry, my alarm didn't go off.
I feel sick. Like whatever. Like we've all done those, but I would never, for any reason, say one of my brothers passed to get out of something. Like for any reason. So it is very weird, and I think I get that you're sad for it to end. It's sad when something has to end that doesn't have to do anything with you. It's different if it's like, oh, he's like verbally abusive or he lied about like something he did that has to do with our relationship. So I get why that's hard. But I think the reason is simply trust is a very big deal. And if you're going to lie these big, massive lies, like I can't depend on a person who I know has that behavior.
Yeah.
And how am I supposed to like, you could sit and tell me all of these things about the situation, but how am I supposed to believe that now knowing that you've said all of these lies? Like, and how do you build a relationship off that?
Oh, you can't. That's the problem. You can't. So because you haven't been dating that long, I would probably just be like, did you actually cheat? Just out of curiosity, because I know you have deep feelings for him and I don't mean to like disregard that, but since it hasn't been that long, like I would be a little like, okay, well, tell me the truth. Like what actually happened? How did you cheat? Like what did you cheat on?
But then would you believe whatever he said?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, unless he like has like, I don't know, only you know him really well. So like maybe you can tell like if he's like lying or not now at this point. But like I would want to know more. I would distance myself. It's just weird behavior to lie about stuff like that. And I think this is one of those red flags where like if you were to continue to date him, you'd look back and be like, why didn't I see that one?
But be careful, girly, because if this is a massive thing that could someday turn into a case and you be called as a witness, maybe you don't want to know.
Maybe you
don't want to be an accessory to anything. Maybe you just say like, I've heard enough. These lies are too intense for me. I need to like move forward.
Yeah,
because trust is a big
you know
deal.
what? That's true. And if you don't want to get like that involved, then you can just be like, listen, you lied about your brother being dead. That's super
weird.
Super sus.
That
and
is so
I don't
weird.
condone that behavior. So I'm gonna go ahead and like end this now. Hope you have a good rest of your life.
Like lie and tell me I'm pretty, or you don't notice that I've gained a couple pounds. Like don't lie about your brother being dead. Like what?
Like please, you should probably work on your lying problem.
No, that's wild.
You know, I'll see you later or never. I'm sorry that you're going through that. That is a big like plot twist. I wouldn't know how I'd process realizing my partner lied about his brother being dead. So, but I promise you. We saw the photos. You are beautiful. You just graduated, so you're smart. You have no problem finding love. You are so young. You have your whole life ahead of you. Go out, focus on you, get yourself settled. Guys will come. Yeah. I'm not concerned about that at all. You're gonna be fine. Him, on the other hand,
girls today. Yeah, like this is a start.
Yeah.
This is a start of
But
exciting
these guys.
No. One's going to be in jail.
I'm concerned about them. I'm concerned about them deeply.
Yeah. Well, should we end with a dad joke?
Probably should.
Okay.
Wrap us up, Taryn.
What has more letters than the alphabet? I feel like you can get this one.
More letters than the alphabet?
Mm-hmm. The post office.
My brain wasn't even going in that direction. I wasn't even close. I wouldn't have even gotten close. Ugh. Well, if you made it to the dad joke, guess what? We love you the mostest. If you have a story that you want advice on from me and Taryn, then you have to send it to us.
Advice? Wait.
What is it, Taryn?
Advice unsolicited pod at gmail.com.
Yes.
Sorry.
Nailed it. Well done.
My brain. I'm hungry.
Be sure to send in serious stories, funny stories, doesn't matter. We answer them all. And we love you so much.
Have a good day.
Bye.